Welcome to the Fitness Oracle Daily Show. I am your host, John Katsavos, and today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And we're talking today about why I hate the term isolation and why it should never be used again in the fitness industry for the rest of time. This is going to be a good one. So you guys better buckle up on this one. I know there's going to be a lot of trainers and fitness experts out there. They're going to argue with me on this one, but that's okay. So, the reality of this term. So the reality of this term is based off of a couple of things. In one way, I don't blame trainers for using this term. But in another way, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit later in the show, is that's not an excuse as to why we're doing it. So the reality of the reality of us using the word isolation is to express a complicated, it's to express a complicated movement in an easy way for you to digest as a customer. We don't want to be bombarding you with, industry jargon and, high-end medical terms that you may or may not understand. We want to simplify things to the point where it's easy and we have one word where we can actually just use the word and you automatically understand what we're trying to present to you. Now, there is a big problem with this because if you find the wrong word or if you use the wrong term, people will get confused. And these kinds of shortcuts, I really don't like these kind of shortcuts because it leads to confusion. There are other methods that you can explain to them. Explain to them meaning you, the client. As a trainer, it's my job to be able to explain to you what's happening on the inside of your body, muscular wise. Okay. I have to understand what the joint is doing under tension. That's my job, nothing else. And if I don't know what it's doing, then I don't know my job. It's that simple. And when we try to use terms like isolation, for example, when I say when somebody tells me isolation, I'm thinking they're gonna put me in a isolated room and okay, I'm only going to use this. I'm not going to use anything else, just this. We're going to use it in a training context. We're only going to use this muscle. We're not going to use any other muscles. Just this. Let's say the biceps. That is false. You cannot just use the biceps. As I explained yesterday, there's a lot more that has to go in, especially the heavier the load becomes, the more pronounced the supporting muscles become. Let me repeat that. The heavier the load becomes, the load meaning weight, we talked about weight, the more pronounced the supporting muscles have to be in order for you to keep your skeleton intact. So when we start using like isolation, and isolation is a wrong term for what we're trying to do. Instead of using isolation, why not just use the word support? I want to add a couple layers of support so we can put a little bit more focus on the bicep. How about we use the standing preacher curl or the seated preacher curl? Or how about that machine that will help give you your back, your back and your hamstrings a little bit more support, and it gives you support for your hands. And we can put a little bit more attention on the quadriceps. Now the client's starting to think, oh, wait a second. Yeah, I know what he's trying to do or she's trying to do. So using these shortcut words leads to so much confusion throughout the industry. It's so rampant, and it drives me crazy when I actually have arguments with quote unquote fitness pros about, yeah, you should be communicating what you want from your client in a different way. This is terrible. What do you mean isolation? What, you're just going to use the VAT muscle? Yeah, good luck, buddy. Good luck. Good luck. So moving on, I'm going to try not to make this too long like I did yesterday. Because I can really go off on this. This really irks me when I hear trainers using shortcut words and trying to explain to your client exactly what's happening. I mean, that's your job. It's not to be on your cell phone and texting your partner or your friend, or where you're going to go out. That's not your job. Your job is to focus on your client. Make sure your client is having the best physical fitness experience possible. And I'm not meaning drenched in sweat. I mean for them to understand and to be able to comprehend what they're doing to themselves as you're telling them what to do. That's imagine if you were able to communicate that, how much money you'd be making as a trainer. So for the client, I need you guys, if you're the client and you're listening to this, I want you to be able to understand this term of what they're trying to say to you. Okay, forget me going off on the trainers, because I have a tendency of doing that, and it's our responsibility to be able to communicate properly what we want for you to do, but it's also partially for you to be able to understand what we're trying to say. Maybe we don't have the communication skills. Maybe we don't have the ability to communicate it in that context. Maybe there's a language barrier. Maybe they're new to the country or whatever, and all they know is the key terms like isolate. You need to understand that you are not just isolating the bicep or the quadricep or the pec or the neck or whatever it is, hamstring, glutes, whatever it is. I don't care. There are other supporting structures. I'm calling them structures, muscles, that are there in order for your skeleton not to fall apart at the earliest onset of tension. There's another part of this that I didn't touch up on, and I'll do another week of this in another time, but I want to touch up on it a little bit here, and it's pain. If you experience pain or something that doesn't feel right, I've been experiencing pain in my left shoulder. This last week at the gym, something doesn't feel right. It feels crunchy every time I do something. That's telling me something is amiss. I need to get that checked out. I'm not talking about going to the doctor, getting x-rays or MRI. They're just going to tell me what I already know. Yeah, something's not right with my shoulder. Thank you. I'll go get muscle tested. I'll go find the actual cause. We'll come up with a proper program in order for a warm-up program, which is another thing that we're going to talk about, was warm-ups. That's another headache. But when you experience pain, now this is for clients. If you experience pain and you tell your trainer, I feel pain, there's a sharp pain coming, and they just tell you, just work through the pain. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Fire your trainer. Then and there, fire your trainer. To the trainers out there, that have clients that are complaining about sharp pains or pain, or I'm not talking about discomfort. Discomfort is one thing. Pain is totally different. If your client is complaining to you about them doing a movement you prescribe them, and you don't say these words in one form or matter, stop what you're doing, let's go do something else. You do not need to be a personal trainer. These are harsh words, I know, but it's TGIF Hot Friday, and it's all about getting down and dirty today. I have very, very little sympathy for trainers who get in trouble because their clients were complaining to them because a movement that they prescribed their client to do. They're complaining about pain, and they're just work through it. Toughen up. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Pain is not weakness leaving the body. Pain is the body telling the brain there's something goddamn wrong with this movement. Stop what they're doing. Stop it. End of story. I have seen it myself. I was a customer at a big box gym in Toronto. This is why I get so hot about this. I was a customer. I was doing leg extensions on a seated leg extension machine, and right in front of me, I saw a personal trainer who had told his client to do assisted chin-ups. She was doing the assisted chin-ups. Sorry, dips, assisted dips. My mistake. She was on the chin-up dip machine. That's why I got a little bit mixed up, and I'm a little hot right now. And she started doing her dips, and she goes, I feel pain in my shoulder. And he was on his cell phone, texting his whatever. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's dropping a lot of money on your butt to be there for her, and you're on your cell phone. She's complaining about pain, and you're like, yeah. Work through it. And you dare call yourself a personal trainer. Shame on you. You should find another job. Yes, I get very hot when it comes to this kind of stuff. Very, very, very hot. Okay. Tomorrow, happier note. We're wrapping up the week, and I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the biggest takeaways that I've had, two or three takeaways that I've had. Hopefully you guys have your questions in on PodInBox, and we can discuss the questions that you may have, and how to move forward with it, because it's all about you. It's not about me. It really is. I really, really want you guys to be a part of this as well. With that, I want to thank you all for watching this episode. I really, really hope that you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and share this episode if you found that it's helpful to you. If you're listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, iHeartRadio, or whatever streaming service you use, please give us a 5-star rating and a positive review, as it will help us reach out to more people that are suffering from mental health issues. Before you go, I'd like to invite you to keep the conversation going by signing up for your free account at PodInBox. Over the years, we have discovered that in order for us to achieve greatness that we're destined for, we can't do it alone. So in order for you to find your place back in this world, we've come across this amazing tool called PodInBox, where we can get together and discuss this topic even deeper. All you have to do is click on the link in the show notes and sign up for your free account, and find out for yourself how powerful community really is. Until tomorrow, you guys have an awesome day.